Good evening, YouTube. Is Dave here? I'm making a camera review. Um, I recently bumped into. Well, first of all, let me go back to the sometime last year when the GoPro Max came out. I had already. First of all, let me bring down the light a little bit here. First of all, I had already purchased the GoPro Max, and I had taken it back the very next day because it wasn't suitable for me. It didn't have slow mo. It didn't have it didn't have a lot of the features that I was really expecting. Um, and just recently, um, Insta360 came out with the camera called the Insta360 One R. I I have it covered up because it's it's a very expensive camera, and you really can't afford to actually mess with it too much. As you can see it, this is the 360 version. Um, it's a good camera. Um, it has the twin edition, which means that you can install the 4K on it. Um, since it's a modular camera, and it's also waterproof up to 16 feet, just like the GoPro Max. I have no issues with it. Up to now, I haven't seen any issues with it other than the fact that even though uh, it's waterproof, and I think they named it the R so because it would be kind of rugged. I think I can't really verify that, but I uh, I had ordered some parts for it, and it's taken too long to bring in those parts, mainly because of what's been going on in China with the coronavirus and so forth. They were at a standstill, is what I hear in the news, but I can't really verify that. Overall, it's a real good camera, but there were some things that are missing that would make the camera even better. For example, I was hoping that it would come with a dive case because of the fact that even though this camera comes out a little bit more clearer than the GoPro Max, um, there's a thing called lens refraction. The moment this camera goes underwater, it causes a distortion of the water, which means that you you're videotaping yourself, but you really don't come out that clear. You do come out clear, but not as clear as the digital clear, as in, for example, the Insta360 One X does come with a dive case. And you install a dive case, you can go underwater, you come out super digital clear. I mean, you can't have anything better than that. Um, but they haven't made a case for this. Now, I was told that GoPro came out with a new firmware, and that based on that new firmware, you could now get the GoPro Max to work underwater as clearly as the Insta1 X without a dive case. So I went ahead and purchased this one, and even though I can still return it, but I purchased this one where the mere reason was that because it's waterproof, just like the Insta1 R, but this did not require a dive case to use underwater. Now I tried it. If you could see one of my videos, I tried it a few days ago, and it looks very blurry. So I called GoPro customer service. Since I am a member of the GoPro Plus system, I've been paying $5 a month for the past 2 years or so. I am still the owner of a GoPro Hero 7. I didn't bother buying the GoPro Hero 8. I didn't think I needed one since the Hero 7 worked fine. Um, this is supposed to be a 360 camera and also Hero mode, but Hero mode would only work on 1080p, which is fine. I if you've experienced what 4K is, it's so super clear that it requires more power on your computer or more power on your phone to actually make a movie, to actually compile all these clips and make a movie and upload them to YouTube. It takes a long time. So 4K is nice, but I've seen it that on 1080p, you do exactly the same thing, and it looks pretty much the same as 4K. I haven't really seen any other difference about it. So I'm comfortable with the 1080p that's coming out of the Hero mode out of this GoPro Max. The only thing is that I was told that under the new firmware, I wouldn't have the lens refraction. It means that it would not be distorted. And I contacted GoPro, and they sent me a letter saying we are aware of what you're talking about. What you need to do is do a manual upgrade on the firmware. Do a manual upgrade on the firmware, and they pretty much showed me the instructions of how to do the manual instructions. So I did the manual upgrade. Now I put it underwater, and guess what? It was the same thing. It's like if I would have never even done the upgrade, anyways. It's the same thing. It looks distorted. As many users have gotten a hold of me, and they've told me it doesn't matter how much firmware you put onto that thing, you can't change it. It's gonna look distorted. It's because of the fact that these lenses are round. They're not. The roundness of the lens makes a water uh, distorted. Now, it's not the same as the Insta1 X, where you have a dive case. The dive case has like a bubble look, but it's a little bit bigger, so it separates the lens from the dive case and makes it pretty much magnify and gives you a better, clear image. For some reason or another, I'm not going to be able to do that with this one. So this one more than likely will go back to the store. Um, I I like the quality of it. It is 5.6. It's exactly like the GoPro Fusion, the old GoPro Fusion that was that didn't even have any firmware upgrades or anything. They pretty much made it and they abandoned support on it. They made the GoPro Max now. This is good anyways because you could still do this during the daytime. You could be doing 360 video, 360 pictures. They look nice. I posted some on my Facebook. Um, they do look nice, but then again, so does the Insta1 X. I'm sorry, the Insta1 R. It also does the pictures and it looks nice. It looks a little bit nicer on this one on the GoPro Max than it does on the Insta1 R. But then again, I have not been able to gain any type of accessories on this. For example, I had ordered the batteries, extra batteries on this thing. It's gonna take months and months and months, and maybe they might not even arrive here because of that coronavirus that's going on in China. But if I were to keep the GoPro Max, they have extra batteries there at Best Buy. There's already accessible accessories for this, where this one has pretty much stopped thanks to the coronavirus. You know, but as far as I can tell you, both cameras look distorted underwater, but this one looks the Insta1 R looks a little bit more clear than the GoPro Max. None of them have dive cases. None of them use dive cases. For some reason or another, GoPro decided not to make a dive case for this, uh, or else it probably would have been the perfect camera. And there is a dive case for this one, but it has not been manufactured in China for the same reason that pretty much China is at a standstill um, until they get rid of that virus. But this is my review. It's not something sophisticated or advanced like those professional bloggers. Um, I am a farmer by trade, so I pretty much just use these for the farm and for my hobby, which is swimming and scuba diving and so forth. Um, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. I'm not in it for the money. I'm just in it for the reviews. Um, this one more than likely the GoPro Max because of the simple fact that it's still distorted underwater might end up just going back to the store. This one's a keeper. This one I had already ordered it from China, and it had arrived before the coronavirus hit the streets. So I was lucky to get this one. Of course, I don't have any accessories for it. I had ordered the extra batteries, but those are going to take months and months and months. I would figure that I would probably just cancel the order. But I have no parts or support on this one in comparison to the GoPro Max. I can get parts on Amazon or at Best Buy already for this one. So it's still debatable. Um, anyways, you all have a nice weekend. This is Saturday here, and Dave, I'm here at the ranch, and I'm fixing just to head back inside the house. But you all have a good evening and a safe weekend.